Heidi. We're about to read the next part of our book. I'm sorry for the noise. Uh, I also noticed that in the previous video, my gains were pretty loud and pretty wonky. So I'm gonna see how it works now. With the gains, I had to go and cook something, but we will be reading the. Oh, damn it! Okay, I just ripped the page out of my book. The page we just read. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, take out your loose leaf sheet of paper. I gotta write this down to put this back in the book. This is hilarious. Okay, so we are reading the home practice page. And it is 4 pages from pages 10 to 13. I just ripped 10 out, so I'm just gonna start reading, okay? I'm gonna start reading. Okay. Let me know how the levels are. Home practice. Designating a particular area within your home as your yoga space will help you keep your focus during your yoga sessions. This is where you should practice on a regular basis. There is much you can learn from a competent teacher, but yoga is also well suited to solo exploration. For some, finding classes that work with their schedules may be impossible, while for others, working out in groups can be intimidating. Always keep in mind, though, that whether you choose to study under a teacher in a group class or practice on your own using a guide or a book, yoga is an intensely personal discipline. Make the world go away. We're right here now. Oh, you can see the text a little better. Okay. That's also what I was kind of having an issue with in the last video. But I think it looks good now. Okay. Make the world go away. The greatest challenge of practicing yoga on your own at home rather than at a studio lies in learning to shut out all the potential distractions. Your phone, computer, television, and even family can prevent you from concentrating. When practicing at home, you therefore need to create a space in which you can block out these distractions. Designate a room or area where you can always practice. Make a schedule for yourself, setting aside perhaps 15 to 30 minutes at the same time every day, 5 days a week. I have some stipulations about that. I would say during the same astrological hour. So if you like to exercise during Mars hour, find Mars hour every single day and do yoga during that hour, because it's not always going to be 3 o'clock every single day. It's not going to be from 3 o'clock to 3:15 every single day. It might only be from 3 to 3:15 for one day, but the next day it'll be from 5 to 5:15 or 6:15 to 6:30. It might shift based on the day, based on the hour. So I would suggest sort of the same time every day. If that doesn't work for you, find the same zodiac astrological hour that can help with setting you at a more disciplined pace. But that's not in the book. We'll get to that later. Okay. The great thing about yoga is that you don't need a lot of space, just the length of your yoga mat. While traveling, you can pack your mat in your suitcase and roll it out wherever you are. Equipment. Yoga calls for a very little equipment. Just take a look at the increasingly popular outdoor yoga classes conducted in many parks. Students have little more than a towel and a yoga mat, and sometimes participants perform directly on a grassy surface with no equipment at all. To begin your home practice, you need only a cushioned surface to work on which to work on. A thick towel, blanket, or rug will serve the purpose of protecting your back, body, and joints during many seated and reclining poses. But purchasing a yoga mat is a wise decision within your financial means. I'm just gonna say that. Don't break the bank trying to get a yoga mat. We have towels at home. We have rugs at home. Anyways, purchasing a yoga mat is a wise decision, especially for standing and inverted poses that require you to shift your feet and hands. Relatively inexpensive, it is quite different from a Pilates mat or from a padded gym mat. A mat designed specifically for yoga is thin and sticky, so that you have traction to grip the floor with your hands and feet. Using nothing more than your mat, you can perform any of the poses in this book, but adding equipment like a block or a strap will add variety to your practice. As you will see in the step-by-step portion of this book, which we will go over each pose, I'll read the instructions. Similar to this, it has like a guide of instructions of how to get into the pose, and then it'll show you how to do the pose. We're going to do something like that for each one of these. Hold on. Okay, as you will see in the step-by-step portion of this book, both of these accessories will also help beginners achieve postures they might not otherwise attain. They also help more advanced practitioners improve their alignment and balance. So you can kind of see where. See, it's a block, and then that's a strap, and then that is also a yoga block to help balance you, and then a yoga strap to help pull your body into more tense poses. What page am I on? Okay, a yoga block is just that, a small brick-shaped rectangle, usually made from lightweight foam, rubber, or cork. These bricks extend your stretch, so place a block under your hands to find balance in poses that call for you to reach towards the floor, such as you do when performing half moon pose. Excuse me. Blocks will also safely stretch your back and inner thighs when you sit or lie on them. Try a folded blanket if you do not have a yoga brick. Use a towel. We do not need to keep buying new stuff. We have towels. Buy a towel. Not buy a towel, use a towel. Okay. Blankets make useful props too. They cushion your back in reclining poses and raise your hips above your knees in seated poses. And best of all, you probably already have a few blankets around the house. Do we not? Anyways, a yoga strap also extends your reach and enables you to hold poses longer. In poses such as seated forward bend, they assist you when you need to hold onto your feet but cannot reach them. Straps also assist you if your hands do not reach each other in poses such as cow face pose. Most yoga straps are simple affairs, made of cotton with D-rings to fasten them around your feet and hands. If necessary, Measuring from 6 to 10 feet, they are longer than regular belts, but a regular belt or scarf or long scarf can, in some cases, substitute a yoga strap. Hey, everybody, look at me and ooh, it looks like mildly something inappropriate. Anyways, we're just gonna tuck that back in there. We're just gonna continue reading. Okay. Clothing. During your yoga session, you want to focus on your movement and your breath, not on whether your too snug waistband is digging into your stomach as you fold over in wide-legged forward bend, or if your too loose shirt is flapping over your face when you try a shoulder stand. These days, there are so many choices for yoga gear, but the key factor is ease of movement. Look for comfortable, form-fitting, but not tight, tops and pants, ones that do not restrict or interfere with your movement. Layering is also a good idea. For instance, wear a long-sleeved hoodie over a tank top for your warm-up session, and then shred your hoodie as your core temperature rises throughout the practice. You can always put the hoodie back on when you are in your cool down poses. Yoga calls for no special foot gear. In fact, leave off the socks and the shoes. Leave off the socks and the shoes. Leave off the socks and the shoes. Practicing in bare feet will help you ground your hands and feet into the floor. I wonder how this is turning out. Okay. Next, using your yoga guide. The following chapters will help you through a wide variety of asanas. Each asana is listed under both its English name and its traditional Sanskrit name, where applicable. For all of the asanas, you'll find a short overview of the pose, photos with step-by-step instructions demonstrating how to do it, some tips on how to perform it, and anatomical illustrations that highlight key muscles. Some asanas have accompanying variations shown in the modification box. Alongside each exercise is a quick read panel that features an at-a-glance illustration of the targeted areas, an estimate of its level of difficulty, and the average amount of time you will need to complete the exercise. For yoga, duration is measured in breaths. In other words, the minimum number of inhalations and exhalations you should take while holding the pose. The last category is a caution list. If you have one of these issues listed, it is best to avoid that pose. Following the step-by-step chapters is a selection of sample flows. These sequences include the classic sun salutations, as well as flows that target specific areas, such as your hips, hamstrings, or core. And there are flows that offer a full body focus. You can make your practice your own by going at your own pace. If you'd like, you can stay in the listed poses longer than recommended, taking extra breaths wherever you need to. Beginnings and endings. To begin most yoga sessions, take a seated posture, close your eyes, and close your eyes. Use this time to center yourself and bring your awareness to your breath. From the seated position, you can rise to move through the poses in the sample flows, or you can craft your own flows as you begin to master some of the asanas. You will note that the end positions of certain poses are listed as the starting poses of others. Some poses just naturally segue into others. As you learn the poses, you will need to see how they work together to form seamless flows. And flow itself is the goal. A flowing sequence focuses the mind and synchronizes it with the body and the breath, thereby drawing you deeper into the practice. Try to move smoothly from pose to pose, using your breath to help move you. After you have completed your practice, you can begin to cool down and calm your brain with several stretches and forward bends to prepare for your final deep relaxation called corpse pose or savasana. Okay. Body awareness and flexibility. We all have different levels of natural flexibility. Strength and flexibility are two traits that, as humans, we need to work on constantly. Don't feel that you can't take a yoga class or begin working at home because you're not flexible. This is why we call yoga a practice. Every one of us has a tendency towards either being more flexible or having tighter muscles, and in yoga, you're trying to find that balance between your strength and your flexibility. Your body and mind are constantly changing and evolving. Every time you come to your mat, you will feel different than you did the last time you did yoga. That is what makes the yoga practice interesting. You may do the same poses time and time again, and yet each time you'll find something new to work on. And an advanced practitioner is not necessarily someone who can come into the most challenging pose. Being advanced is having the body awareness and control to work the subtleties of each pose. Man. And in the next live, I'll be reading this part and this part, because that just goes into more detail about the different hand positions as well as the different terms to know in order to help understand the book. So I think this is a good starting point. We'll see if the gains are a little better. Hopefully. Maybe. Until then, bye guys. See you later. Oh, let me not touch the screen. Oh gosh. There we go. Bye. Yes, please stop. Bye.